All right, here's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
New segment. Flynn's got to pee.
Yep.
Rusty's in charge for the time being. Rusty,
Can I just tell him a story?
yeah, just tell him a story.
All
Go
right.
nuts, and you're gonna hear me peeing in the background.
This
All right,
is awesome.
just
Is he
just
allowed
keep
to
doing your
pee
thing.
in the background? Yeah, we had these pep rallies, and I think when he gets back, we're gonna have to do a new segment called Rusty Has Something.
I've thought about this the entire time.
I will say,
All right, here we go. Just for posterity's sake,
Yeah.
what's up, everybody? Station identification. This is Big Al's Grill ASMR. We were coming along, me and Rusty, for most of this pod. And then we realized that we had the audio on the loudest possible decibel it could be.
Right.
Now, am I mad about it? No, I don't really care too much because at the end of the day, we're at a beautiful place,
Hey.
Mar Vista Recreational Center. And I'm with Rusty, dude, and it doesn't really matter. We might actually know Rusty from Will and Rusty's Playdate. Man, that's cool. His great show where he explores different things that are outside of his Lego hobby. And that's what it's all about. You know, if you're fucking mad at me for doing the little things wrong, I want you to know that I don't have to do this. I'm lying, dude. I don't know why I'm like lashing out at people listening to this. All I think about when the audio is fucked up is like one kid came up to me after a show in Boston, just goes, dude, I love the podcast, but you blow out my speakers every fucking week.
Dude, Willy will do these live streams where he's playing Wii golf, and when he realizes he goes so late into the night, a lot of people like fall asleep to it. And so every 45 minutes, he would just scream as loud as he could into the microphone. And then the chat would be like, come on, man, I'm sleeping over here. Dude, you were talking about the good things that Emmett's for. Having a guy behind the camera that doesn't have to think what you're saying is funny. Like, you can use him as a good gauge. Like, you look over, and if he's chuckling, you're like, all right.
He'll laugh at anything. Ready? Poop. Pee.
Cock.
All right, that didn't really do it. That usually gets him. He's nervous.
He doesn't look nervous at all. He looks,
He looks
right at
pretty- he
home.
looks chill as hell.
I will say, if you like hearing two white guys talk about just kind of niche towns in Massachusetts, you missed a good we
could just rev up that entire thing again, because honestly, I feel like we were hitting on something like truly crucial, which is Rusty was like, you know, I asked Rusty, I'm like, Rusty, reason why Friday Beers works so well is because each one of you has such a unique niche in the friend group.
Right.
Of like every guy friend group growing up. And I said, Rusty is quintessentially the man who volunteers to drive the boys to the party and then gets too drunk to drive everybody home.
Right.
And I like that because, you know, in Massachusetts, coming from a commuter school, and I'm just gonna revamp this whole conversation. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Let's
dude.
run it back from the top, actually.
Let's run it back from the top. All right, ready? Yeah. Hey, I'm Alec. Dude, this is what it's about, man. I mean, we were watching some guy just fucking hit a punching bag over there earlier.
I think there's a line that you toe when you have beers in public, and we are walking that line real tight right now. There's some sort of recreational soccer happening.
That's adult league. They're fine. They're chill.
I was about to say, it does not look like it's a bunch of kids that have reclassed. You know, like you're like watching like youth basketball now, and they're all like 25.
Yes.
I saw an 11-year-old dunk on hoopmixtape.com the other day. I don't know why I said it was on the actual website. I was on YouTube.
No, dude, yeah, you're on datpiff.com.
Guy that hasn't found the Hoop Mixtape channel yet.
Yeah, I was listening to Chris Webby, Webster's Laboratory, and on hoopmixtape.com. Were you by any chance in the year 2011?
When I was a kid, I remember I was on my mom's laptop and my grandparents had come to visit, and Chris Webby had just dropped Run Around Web.
Yo.
And
Bars.
If you're not familiar, it is Chris Webby, who you probably actually are not familiar with.
Regionally acknowledged musician Chris Webby.
If you lived anywhere,
and the region is Connecticut.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you lived anywhere from Darien all the way up to Presque Isle, Maine, you were a big Webster. And I remember my grandpa was trying to like connect with me, and we were just sitting at the table, and I had Beats headphones on and was listening to that and playing Line Rider. And I thought about that the other day where I was like, we don't, because I get along really well with one grandpa and the other one just does not care for me. And I was like, I think that was I think that was when he was just like, I can't get through to this kid. Like, can you imagine trying to give sage wisdom to a child and he's blasting like pretty not great rap and playing a game that doesn't matter to anyone? Just doing nothing.
You think he like didn't care and then he went over like, what are you listening to? Chris Webby.
What?
Brother,
like,
put on fucking Wale.
He's like max out already.
Dog.
Dude, what was the...
Are you kidding me? J. Cole's Friday Night Lights is on Dat Piff. You're throwing on the Webman?
He's like weirdly...
Yeah.
He's like weirdly informed.
Yeah, he's
about
like,
what...
like, dude, take this CD.
Yeah. Yeah, he hands you his own mixtape. I remember...
Grandpa's Greatest Hits.
Chris Webby came out with...
This is a certified Grandpa classic.
Starts doing a diss track.
Put your loafers on for this one.
Tie those tassels real tight, boy.
Tie those tassels real tight.
It's just a diss track on your Mimi.
DJ Walker. Dude, man, we need to bring back the 30-minute music, the 30-minute song intro. Just for like Noah Kahan songs. Damn, son, what woods you find this one?
Why would you find this one?
Yeah, why would you find it? Yeah.
I saw
this the type of shit you want to roll up a blunt and smoke to. When it's just Noah Kahan, 2 months since you got back.
You're like, they kind of nailed that.
Yeah, they kind of.
I kind of do want to roll up a blunt to this. Anyone got any backwoods?
This is a certified backwood classic. I love that shit, man. I was looking at datpiff.com. It doesn't even exist as a website.
What
anymore.
is that?
You not familiar with datpiff.com?
No, I was a Bing guy.
Brother. Bing, that's a search engine.
I don't think DatPiff was on Bing.
I
missed out on a lot of good stuff because I was
what's your exact age right now? You're like 23.
23, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. How old are you guys?
I'm 28. I'm about to turn 28.
How's that?
Dude, not good now that nobody knows about DatPiff. I thought everybody knew, because before you were truly locked into the music conglomerate of Apple Music, Spotify, you had the option to look at mixtapes on DatPiff.
Right.
And that was an entire web of you'd see Wale's More About Nothing, J. Cole's early stuff, Friday Night Lights.
Right.
Mac Miller had the High Life before he even came out with Kids. I mean,
the High Life was... That changed a lot.
I don't know if you even remember Malfi's Boston Lights.
I do not.
Well, nobody remembers Malfi's Boston. But that's what I'm saying. You'd be like, this is my new guy, dude. And you'd be like, but then you'd listen to it back and be like, oh, this sucks.
Dude, Mac Miller was life-changing for guys that didn't have any troubles. I remember there are other rappers that would be talking about their friends dying or something. It's I can't relate to that. I remember I'm showing my hand a little bit here, but I was at my friend's house in Nantucket, and he was like, you got to hear this new guy, Mac Miller. Yes. And just 5, kind of upper middle class kids huddled around a laptop being like,
what the heck?
This guy's the greatest thing that's ever happened in the world.
Yeah.
He had a lacrosse stick in one of his music videos, and I was like, this guy's...
That's true.
This is for me.
I used to rock a fitted cap, now I rock a snapback.
Right.
And then Jack was in the corner yeah, he's pretty good, but Webby's still number one.
Yeah, Webby, dude, honestly, Webby's I Need a Dollar. What was up with... Why did everyone need to do an I Need a Dollar song?
I mean, dude, I liked how Webby was like, I'm going to make it on being a geek in the rap game, dude.
Right.
I don't know why I keep talking about regional rappers, but it makes me laugh.
It's what
really
the people want, man.
You want to come over here, put these sausages on? You excited?
Please.
I'm excited to have you grill here. We're going to turn on, we got grill cam finally, which is exciting.
Ooh.
Yep. I got to figure out how to turn this on.
What happens when you heat up a GoPro? Because
we will find out.
Only one way to...
Oh, shit. All right, we got it. It's on. Hold on. This is very DIY, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't really have a huge budget. I mean, or any budget for that matter.
Well, that's how you make good art.
That's how you make art. All right.
I'm just picturing the GoPro's gonna slowly turn red. We're gonna get really cool footage. What happens when a GoPro starts recording at 400 Kelvin?
Kelvin.
It's like a scientific unit. I always thought 1 Kelvin was really hot, but apparently that's like -1,000 degrees. So I would always describe really hot things as 1 Kelvin, and then my science teacher had to pull me aside and be like, "Dude, that isn't. You're not saying what you think you're saying right now."
You're like, bro, just like let me
have this.
Mr. Miller, I'm gonna fucking kill you. All right, are you hungry?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Always.
Let's just throw them all on. I got a whole bunch of bolillos from the Ralphs as well. Emmett's always hungry.
How'd you two meet?
Emmett just emailed me and said, "This is cool. Can I help?" And I go, "Yes."
Those are the best guys.
Those are the best dudes. And then he was like, "I'm from Williamstown, Mass." And I go,
Okay.
So all right.
Emmett was love. I was like, why does this guy love this regional rap talk?
At the end of the day, dude, you just gotta be from Mass, or else I'm literally not gonna trust you.
Right.
At the end of like my fucking boys here.
You know I'm not from Massachusetts.
That's fine. I trust you, but like him, I don't know. We were talking about it with Noel Miller, and I was just like, I need to be able. It's like the mafia. I need to be able to track your family back to your town.
Right.
So just in case you wrong me in any way,
I
can put a fucking pipe bomb in your Subaru.
How many hits have happened at Dunkin' Donuts this year, you think?
Hits?
Like
Oh,
mob hits.
brother. Dunkin' Donuts is now only the home of like my grandfather, other people's grandfathers just sitting around. You know what? It's such an interesting choice that they use Dunkin' Donuts, and it's like, dude, there's so many great diners you could hang out at. Yet
It's
they
a
just sit
weird
there.
hill to die on.
Yeah, they sit there, they read the Boston Herald, which is just pictures. It's just legit like
Well,
pictures, dude.
it's because they can't read.
Yeah, that helps. It's just Joe Biden looking like this.
Yeah. And they're like, this guy's doing a horrible job.
I mean, really?
Look at this face he's making. Like, Grandpa, you shit your pants 30 seconds ago. You're literally sitting in your own poop.
They traded Saquon for this guy.
Yeah, he's like mad at me. The 2 pages are stuck together. He's reading 2 stories simultaneously. Saquon for Nancy Pelosi? What's this all about?
I guess I don't get football anymore. The world come to.
Liam and I were at a Dunkin' Donuts, and he would be able to tell you, but like just a part of Massachusetts you probably don't want to be in a couple months ago. And you know how like if you give one of those workers an inch, they take a mile?
Always.
Like if you say one word to them other than your order, they're gonna tell you their life story.
I love that though.
There was a woman who was somewhere between the age of 74 and 177 and was talking just very loudly to the whole store, talking about how much she hated working there. And then Liam and I were like the only ones that were kind of like giving her anything. We were like revving her up a little bit, and she was like, "You know I don't need to work here." She was like, "I don't need this. I just do it because I like it." And we were like, "You just said you hated it." And she we like caught her in a lie, and she got mad about it.
I'm good. Don't worry. So I got excited for your story.
So what does that tool do?
So this is really good for if you got like boogers.
Right.
No, sorry, dad joke. We're gonna keep that.
Right.
But no, this is good for getting all the grease off the grill.
How did you get this here? This seems...
Oh, this grill?
Yeah.
Dude, I threw it in the fucking car.
What kind of car do you have?
I got a big one. I'm GMC Yukon 2001.
Are you still in the Yukon?
No, I wish, dude. Could you imagine if I was rocking around in a boat like that?
You know
Dude,
that
the California Historical Society would be fucking chasing after me every day. Like, sir, we need to test this.
Dude, you ever listen to Crack a Bottle?
By Eminem?
You know, he's like,
whoa.
Bitches hopping in my Tahoe. Like driving your mom's like sedan and listening to that and having to pretend that you're in a Tahoe.
Yeah.
Real
Bringing
bummer.
the seat back a little bit, but not too much because you
yeah.
can't see above the top.
Yep.
You're like, man, this is dangerous. No, I mean, I do remember the days of yore where I felt like just a Viking. I would load up with the boys. Can you pass me and give me one as well?
Please.
Thank you. I would load up the boys and we would just, till Valhalla. Till Valhalla we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So what's the technique here? What are we trying to achieve?
Just kind of brown. I usually just go by look.
Guy that's about to give you a raw sausage. I don't know, I just kind of eyeball it.
Listen, I always give myself the rawest. I'm like kind of like the guy that used to test food for the king.
Right.
But then I give it to him anyway.
Are you a big history guy?
I love history.
What are we into?
So I just finished reading a great book by Salman Rushdie called A Jaguar Smile,
Nice.
A Nicaraguan Journey. So in the 1980s, I think we have spoken ad nauseum about Nicaragua recently. But essentially...
You two off camera?
Yeah, I mean, every time I try to like bring
You
up
just invite him
Nicaragua.
over. He's like, what's up? Like, you want to talk about work or something? You're like, sit the fuck down.
I got a map right here, and I want
like-
you to sit your fucking ass down.
He walks in, you're like plotting a course.
Hey, can I see your phone?
All right.
The Sandinistas start in the north.
The year is 1832.
No, I'm just fascinated with the Nicaraguans because, like, yeah, Salman Rushdie went there as like, and he's usually like, you know, a fiction writer, but he did like this nonfiction like whole thing over
Yeah.
there when the Sandinistas, which is essentially like the progressive, like, quote unquote, like socialist government, took over for like the old regime, which was like funded by the Americans.
Okay.
And now the Americans, essentially what they did throughout that time period that he was there, they were funding the Contras. So, you know, like Iran-Contra and all that shit?
No.
So this is like deep geopolitics, but essentially the United States was like helping funnel like cocaine and drugs in the United States to pay for weapons to send to Nicaragua, Guatemala, and all these like these South American or Central American countries to
That's
like
awesome.
to keep like communism from like essentially what they thought was communism from eroding.
Right. Well, if you think about like how to prevent communism, my first step is give them all a bunch of cocaine. Like, I think like the last time I've been around a bunch of guys that are on cocaine, the last thing that they want is sharing any sort of empathy for anyone else. They want to pitch you business ideas, and that's all they're there to do.
Right. They're the uber capitalists.
That would be hilarious. That's like how you start like a new Silicon Valley in Nicaragua. Is you just give like a bunch of guys enough cocaine that they pitch enough business ideas that like a couple of them hit. Like Uber for guys named Ryan. Billion. We're like, nope, back to the drawing board. And then they're like, all right, they come up with like a new like form of currency, and we're like, all right, and we run with this.
This is good.
You're onto something.
Yeah, you're onto something, brother. Yeah, I do think about that, but we were getting the cocaine. They were funneling the cocaine into our own country.
Oh.
So yeah, this was like United States. Like this
Well, that's
was,
where the tech boom came from.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. I mean, I hate capitalism. I hate Elon Musk. I hate it all, dude. I don't want it. Dude, I'm just so sick of like working, bro.
I don't know. Capital or
And this is what I do for work, dude. I'm just so, dude, all I want to do is fucking coach a hockey team, like a local youth hockey team.
right.
That's literally all I want to focus on is running the umbrella on the power play and like nothing else. But yet I have to sit here in this fucking race to the bottom capitalist bullshit and worry about fucking Elon Musk and all these people taking all my hard-earned money.
Do you ever coach a hockey team?
Yes, I just coached my fucking boys up in Sun Valley, Idaho.
How'd that? Oh,
Yes.
you've been to Sun Valley?
We just went.
How'd that go?
It was unbelievable. Hold on. Helicopter.
One of my favorite things about Los Angeles is there is constantly a helicopter looking for someone, and they never seem to find him.
Here's my theory. I think the police got a budget back in the day that like
Right.
allowed them to have 30 helicopters.
Yeah.
And they decided, well, if we don't have 3 flybys a day,
Right.
2 being on the beach,
Right.
what the fuck are we doing here?
There's the like head guy is looking at like 30 helicopters in a parking lot, and he's just like, oh, I don't know, just get out there.
Do you think they go to the budget for the LAPD every year and they just go, do you want another OJ?
What do you?
Do you want another OJ? I literally think they must do that because it's like,
There's-
why else would you fund this?
It's they're not doing a good job.
No.
They're not doing a good job at all. They're really
Let's sit back
good at
down.
giving me parking tickets, but that's about it. I got a parking ticket at 2:36 in the morning a couple days ago.
Damn, dude.
What are you even doing? Go home.
You know what I've
Go
noticed
home.
though? Have you ever caught somebody mid parking ticket giving you out one?
Dude. What?
What?
Yes, I actually have, and it wasn't my brightest moment, but I parked in a loading zone. Or no, I parked in a regular parking spot. My thought process was I'm gonna run in. I was picking up flowers. run in, grab the flyers that I already paid for him. I'll be back out in 30 seconds. The odds of me getting a ticket are next to zero. I sprint out, and I sprint back. So in the 45 seconds where I was gone, the parking guy saw me sprinting into a store and sprinting back out and was like, I don't know, I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay here. And I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm actually here. Sorry, man, already started writing the ticket. And I was just like, dude, I literally was in there for 30 seconds. I'm leaving right now. He was like, sorry, I already started writing it. Once I start writing it, I have to give it to you. I was like, cool, I'm leaving. And he just goes, I'll mail it to you. I go, awesome, fucking mail it to me, pussy. And we like get in this like argument, whatever.
Whoa.
And then I got in the car and he walked up to hand it to me, and I forgot we were in an argument. And so I rolled down the window. I was like, oh, thanks, and grabbed it. And then I was like, damn it! All the work I just did to like make this guy feel bad, I just forgot about it. And now he probably also was just like, oh, I just gave like a schizophrenic guy a ticket. Like he didn't even know. He wasn't even arguing with me. He was arguing with someone else. I passed a guy earlier today do you ever see a guy that's so crazy that he's like almost onto something? Or he's like almost like making sense. There's this guy, close your eyes for a second. Picture the most homeless guy in the world.
Done.
Got him?
Got it.
Picture him right in front of a UPS store, and he's got nothing to. There's nothing that he could possibly be shipping. There's nothing around him but like some sort of nest of like blankets and just everyone else's stuff. And then he's also the dirtiest man alive. Like he's like truly like there's no chance he's on the phone with anyone. But he looks like he's on the phone, and I can't see his right ear, and now open, and he's going, yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, no. I'm doing good. And he starts like having a conversation. I'm like, does he have an AirPod in on the other side? And then we pulled past him, and obviously he didn't have a fucking he was speaking nonsense, but it was a normal conversation. So everything about him was in complete disarray, but he was able to put together a normal conversation.
This is you not believing in the power of affirmations.
Oh, you think he was talking to himself? Being
yes, dude. It starts with positive mindset, affirmations, gratitude.
Yes.
I have my box. I have my blankets.
What else does a fellow need?
And you know what? Hopefully tonight I'll get some dinner.
Yeah. Dude, that is really funny that he woke up one day, kind of realized the mess he was in.
Said I'm good.
And made like a really positive turn, but like hadn't kind of done any of the work yet, but he's like, I'm good.
All it starts with mindset, dude. Mindset takes at least a day, maybe a week.
Do you know how crazy you have to be to look at that situation and be able to be like, no, I'm actually doing good.
No, I'm good.
I'm doing fine.
It must have been a lot worse.
I will wake up and room is clean, dishes are done, everything seems to be in order, and I have a very hard time telling myself that anything is going well.
Yeah, because we grew up in, I think things were going so well. I contend this all the time where I'm like, dude, we live in the best time there ever is to be alive. Why does everything feel like it sucks so hard, dude? Yeah. Everything feels like it is like constantly on the verge of sucks and blows.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why, because like I have, the water I drink is clean-ish. I'm just ripping out of the faucet, by the way. Do you rip out of the faucet?
No.
Can I talk about this? I have a beef right now with Liquid IV. You'll never sponsor this show. Let me fucking speak.
Calling your shot is a bold move.
That they'll never sponsor this.
What if they saw this and just out of spite offered you like a lot of money?
I would absolutely take it. I've also.
What if they offered you just free products?
But I have banned gambling and boner pills from this show, out of principle.
I like that.
Yeah. No, but here's my problem with Liquid IV. It's like, dude, people like come after me for drinking out of the faucet in the middle of a party, and it's like, oh, you're not gonna have like pour an entire pixie stick into your fucking Dasani after this? Like I'm the weirdo for liking a little bit of fluoride in my fucking tank.
They were yelling at you because your mouth was fully wrapped around the faucet, not because you were drinking out of the.
Yeah, I might have been having a full conversation with somebody, just like, no, I mean, I'm really sorry that she's sick. That does suck.
Dude, Willy had a roommate in college. From what I've heard, he's one of the brightest inventors of our generation.
Yeah, everybody from BC says that.
And no. This kid just, I think, I'm gonna tell you an invention he created as a 19-year-old, and you tell me if this guy's not one of the brightest minds of our generation. He would wake up. All right, I'll start.
It's a pocket pussy for your butt.
I'll start the pitch. I'll start the pitch with a question for you. What's the worst thing about waking up after a night of drinking?
You get a case of the Zachlys.
What's that?
It's when your mouth tastes exactly like your asshole.
You say the coolest stuff.
That's our show, everybody. All right, now come on, let's grill.
The worst part is you wake up and there's not like a drink next to your bed.
That is true.
He created a hamster-style bottle that he mounted to his wall.
Wait, what?
And he would fill it with water so he could roll over and be like, out of the tube.
That's fucking nuts.
Isn't that awesome?
No. I don't think that's... Dude.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a home run.
Bro. That would just spiral me even harder. It's like I'm so hungover I can't even get up, dude. I'm just like, I'm legit like pre-embryonic, just... I almost feel better getting up and going into the sink like a real man, like I'm working on a fucking ballast of a ship in Bangor, Maine. Like, I need water right now. But you can't even get up and you're like... Do
you know there's a thing you have to...
I'm sorry, Willy's friend. I didn't mean to come after you like that. I bet you are one of the brighter minds of my generation.
He's actually from Massachusetts, too, so one of your kind.
One of my boys, dude. Yeah, but that goes to show you, man. They don't know dick about shit.
There is a thing...
Do you like your bun toasted, by the way?
Dude, do fat dogs like slow cars?
Come on now.
Come on now. Dude, there's a thing you have to say when you're in Bangor and you pass that. You know, they make not Bangor. What's the place that makes all the ships?
New Bedford?
I don't know. There's a town, there's a bridge you go over, and they famously created the ship that cannot be seen by like other ships.
Whoa.
It's like invisible. And every time you drive by, if you're with like a new person, I have this compulsion where I have to tell them that story. Like, you know, no one can see that ship, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's right there. And you're like, no, it's like invisible to other boats. And they're like, but how can you and I see it? And I haven't totally figured out the technology, but apparently, if you're at sea, this ship is invisible.
That's fucking awesome.
You know we figured out teleportation in the 60s?
Look into the camera while you're speaking about insane increases.
Did you know that the U.S. military figured out a way to teleport things before? And it went horribly wrong. This is literally one of my favorite stories in history.
Okay, wait, real quick though.
Yep. Oh, that looks lovely.
What does that remind you of?
Baguette.
Keep going.
We basically had figured out a way to transport or teleport a full ship with its crew from one city to another in the blink of an eye. And apparently eyewitnesses, I believe you can Google this at home, but I believe it was the USS Pennsylvania. And apparently the first time they did it, the ship showed up in like the city it was supposed to go to, and there were guys like melded into the like walls and shit. There were guys with like 4 heads. Like, it went horribly wrong.
Of course it would, dude.
And then we just said it didn't happen.
Bro, you would instantly get cancer.
Yeah, but wouldn't you just want to? No one hits a home run on the first swing. Like, you're not at least gonna go back.
How many people have to be the ball?
I think in this case, like 47 guys got like
47 guys
mutilated. Can you imagine being like gonna be the first guy to teleport, and then you get into your new city and the bottom half of you's in the other room?
Then you have like 8 eyes, and then you show up to your local dive in Cincinnati, and they're like, "There's 8 eyes talking about how he teleported again."
But dude, like, there were guys whose like part of their hand was on this side of the wall and the other was on this. Like, it was like
do that in front of the thing.
One side of their hand was on this side of the wall, one was here.
This is pretty good. Is this fucking on? Yeah, it's on. I never know. Is this fucking on?
Dude, Alec and I were talking about AM radio earlier.
Oh, brother. Oh, where are we talking about AM radio? Keep going. Speak of your mind. By the way, Rusty was kind enough to hook it up with a beautiful t-shirt, Will and Rusty's Bridge Company, from his beautiful show, Will and Rusty's Playdate.
We actually do not have a bridge company, and apparently it's illegal to claim that you do. So
Yeah. So if you don't want to be
buy that
part of a
shirt,
legal enterprise,
he is a cool guy.
Rego?
My dad.
Oh, your dad.
But it's weird. You learn stuff about your dad where you're like, I didn't even know he liked Reagan. We're just sitting in the bunkhouse, just on a bubble TV. Reagan dies.
He's just
You
lost.
just look over and he's just like disheveled.
I think Reagan personified for a lot of those guys that grew up kind of like, I want to say baby boomers, but
Yeah.
what happened with like throughout the 60s, I think, is a lot of people were like had precursors of like what could be a really great and idealistic society. You know, you had the civil rights movement, but then like all of that sort of started to become disillusioned by the 70s as all these people that were in their like late teens, early 20s, mid 20s throughout that transformative time period. Now they're in their late 20s, early 30s.
Right.
And then when Reagan comes in, they see Reagan as sort of like this rah-rah, fuck yeah character that completely takes away sort of like the sort of like hippie all-for-one culture.
Right.
Where you're replacing, you could argue like, you know, both are good things, which is like self-responsibility, be a businessman, America. That like replaces like, let's share, let's do our own thing, let's be a country that cares, let's fucking take care of people. Yeah. And I think that message is just, it's still why like boomers today, dude, are still like actively ruining our country.
Well, I think the reason
they don't care about anything, bro.
No, nothing.
I think they're so pissed because they had to grow up. That's my theory. It's like their childhoods were so great in the 50s and 60s.
Yep.
That like think about like how sick it would have been having like sick competitive fucking like youth sports. Your school is like actually you can get in any college you want if you try hard. Doesn't matter what school you go to.
I think you're even giving them too much credit. I think here's the life of a kid who grew up at the same time as our dads. Your team went to the Little League World Series no matter. They were just the Japanese hadn't figured it out yet.
Nobody figured it out.
The Taiwanese were not even on the map. You were going to the Little League World Series. You could have a 1.7 in high school and you're going to like UCLA.
Yeah.
You get out and you can pretty much do anything because the Securities and Exchange Commission is just not cracking down on anyone. So everyone makes $1 million at 24.
Yeah.
And then they have kids and we're all gay, and that's got to be really frustrating.
They gotta be pissed about that. Dude.
I think that's what happened. I talked to some of my dad's friends and my dad, and they're just like, yeah, I could not get into the school that I got into now.
No, none of them could, dude.
No.
None of
Our
these
parents were morons, but we also had.
My parents went to a school that no longer exists. North Adams State. You know what I'm talking about.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Elk
he knows,
stand
dude.
up.
That's fucking Western Mass. My dad was like, I went to a trade high school. I should not have been there.
You going to trade high school, and the guy at the admissions office at a college is like, I don't know, I see some potential.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, we'll take your money. How much money is it? $3 grand.
$4.
Dude, North Adams State fucking gear would be wild. No, but yeah, I just think they didn't want to grow up, and life was like, I just think like the time to make sacrifices for true economic equality, for true civil rights equality, essentially passed them by, and like all the enthusiasm, once that was lost with like, you know, Watergate happening.
Yep.
I think everybody lost faith in government when like Nixon essentially like tried to cheat his way to being reelected. Gerald Ford was a moron. Jimmy Carter tried to like center the country back on like an actual platform of
Jimmy
morals.
Carter's got to be the strength. How the hell did that guy become president?
Dude, because he was a guy who was a peanut farmer from fucking Georgia. I think he ran on morality, dude.
But that's Exhibit A. If that's true, because I know nothing about politics. If that's true, that is exactly what I'm talking about how our parents grew up, is they were just like, you know who I think could do a bang-up job? That peanut farmer.
Yes, and I believe that, dude. And I honestly, I would take that same approach today, where I just go like, the fact that we are allowing like people that are already rich and wealthy to like shape our public policy today, that leads me to believe like these people have only heard of ideas that come from like the top 1%, the people they hang out with in the country club.
Yeah.
I can't stand any of that shit, dude. I want people like, you know, that grew up poor. I'm serious. Like, I think the fact that, like, you know, even Donald Trump or, like, any of these other people that grew up, like, wealthy now are, like, in our politics is fucking horseshit.
Yeah, it's
that guy
wild.
never had to work a summer job, dude. That guy talks about, like, I would go hang out with my dad. I'd go hang out with my dad at the construction site. You go hang out with your dad, called black people the N-word on construction sites. I'm sorry, dude. I've had, like, 2 Bud Lights. I feel crazy. But I believe everything I'm saying right now, and I 100% endorse it.
I think if you say anything with enough conviction, I'm on board, because I'm the least well-read guy in the world.
You said you're a big history guy, no?
I am mostly from YouTube videos and podcasts.
Okay, all right. I thought you were ready to get down and dirty, dude.
No.
I thought we were talking the Russian Revolution, dude.
Well, I mostly focus on the golden age of piracy. That's kind of my
God,
it's kind of my niche.
Okay, that's good.
I'm reading a book right now called The Wide Wide Seas by Hampton Sides about Captain James Cook. He was not a pirate, but he was an explorer, and to illustrate how dumb people were at this time, they thought that because Australia existed and was so big, there's got to be something out there to counterbalance it, or else the Earth would plunge into space. And so they sent him out there to find this landmass that doesn't exist, and he was the only guy they trusted. They'd sent out a bunch of guys that haven't found anything, and they're like, yeah, until he does it, until he proves it's not there, we won't buy it. And so they sent him out there, and he explored everything in the world. To illustrate like how good this guy was at like navigating the seas, they compare his hand-drawn map of Greenland to a satellite image of it, and they're like, yeah, it's pretty much it. like it's not perfect by any stretch, but they were like, it's like he missed a couple coves here and there, but like for the most part.
Did they believe that Greenland was the counterbalance to Australia?
No, he went out there and he was like, it's not there. And he said if it is there, it's covered in ice, never to feel the sun's warm rays. And they were like, that's awesome.
Well, that does rule.
Yeah.
I would really worry about coming back from something like that, going to like a queen or king and being like, yeah, it's not there. And they're like,
off with his head.
Yeah, you're lying.
Mutilate his genitals.
You're for sure lying, because 3 people on your boat said that it was there. And they're just lying just so they won't get killed either.
Dude, there's this guy named Mai in the book. He is like a native guy from one of those like oceanic islands.
Tongan.
He was
Fijian, maybe.
I don't think they like existed back then, but it was like modern day like Tahiti. So
Tahitian.
like whatever that was called.
My producer is saying the words along with me. Tahitian, like I'm a legit kindergartner.
Tahitian. And
I'm gonna fucking crash your Valentine's Day. Emmett,
also, why are you doing it a day late, Emmett?
Well, we did stuff yesterday, but then we did the like.
She's making you double dip?
She's making you double dip.
Dude.
And he's got to hang out with the in-laws tomorrow, dude.
Ooh.
God.
Ooh.
I'd rather fucking go get a spoon, eat my own ass.
Dude, it's got
Like a poke bowl.
Oh.
Dude, I swear to God, dude, if another person like comes after me for drinking out of the faucet, I'm gonna fucking.
Yeah, so
I'm
what
gonna
is that
shoot
about?
up
What
a
is that
DMV.
about? Because I think it's weird if someone does that in like a place like here.
I would never do it here, but I'm saying like.
No, I mean like in like Los Angeles.
I'll do it here. I don't care. I just got a Brita.
But that's different.
But I just got a Brita. Like I was just ripping Fosse.
Why do you think people are upset about that?
I think they just look at me like I'm an uncouth sloth. And I say, to hell with you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm learning about the golden age of piracy. The fuck do you know? And then I take their beer and I go like this. And then they go, whoa.
Yeah, this guy rules.
Who invited this guy?
Yeah, that'd be funny to think that they're mad about you drinking out of the faucet.
Yeah.
But in reality, they just didn't invite you.
Who needs a ride home? I brought my GMC Yukon.
Get in there.
I'm at high school parties in Culver.
What's up, teens?
What's up? All right, hey, Rust, come on around. I think these might be about ready.
Can I just say, I really like the program you guys are on over here. It's a good vibe.
It's a pretty good vibe, right? I mean,
Also-
look, it's the golden hour. We're enjoying ourselves.
I don't understand what version of soccer these people are playing, but it seems to be some sort of hybrid in which both teams lose and no one has fun. There's also 4 goals. kind of wonky game are they playing?
What do you think? How's that?
That looks money.
That looks pretty good.
This looks like I was a gym TA in high school, and this looks like a sport I would make them play. I remember the gym teacher left me alone with the freshmen, and I was just like, I don't know, you guys want to play dodgeball? And they were like, yep. I was supposed to give them like the soft balls, you know what I mean, like the foam ones.
Yeah. You gave them the hard ones.
The woke balls. I gave them the old kick balls. Like I had to blow the dust off them, and I was like, go nuts. And there's this kid that just got there. I was not familiar with his game. He plays lacrosse at Yale now.
Oh, no.
And I didn't know how good of an athlete he was. And he fucking smoked this girl in the face.
Yeah.
And
someone always gets ripped right in the gourd, dude.
Dude, I think if you are committed to a D1 school before sophomore year, you should not be able to play in gym class.
No. Dude, I went to an all-boy Catholic high school. They exiled that immediately. They were like, they'll kill each other.
Dude, we used to do these pep
What do you
rallies.
think? Do you think this is done? Do you think this needs a little bit more?
I think it's. Let's give it a couple more minutes.
Let's give it a couple. All right, here's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
New segment. Flynn's got to pee.
Yep.
Rusty's in charge for the time being. Rusty,
Can I just tell him a story?
yeah, just tell him a story.
All
Go
right.
nuts, and you're gonna hear me peeing in the background.
This
All right,
is
all right,
awesome.
just
Is he
just
allowed
keep
to
doing your
pee
thing.
in the background? Yeah, we had these pep rallies, and there was this kid who had been committed to Wake Forest for baseball since he was in like 7th grade. And they were like, yeah, we should let him play. And what they don't know about these kids, that especially like baseball players, is if you throw a dodgeball with like enough like speed and spin, it kind of like spins out of control. And so like if you're in the stands, like it's just gonna, like this kid had no idea where it was going. And the kids in the back like are like reading or like trying to get homework done. And I just remember this kid threw the ball, it curved and it kind of like rode the, like it like followed the trajectory of the bleachers and knocked this kid's, like poor child's book out of his hand. And they were like, you know what, let's do no more dodgeball. I think when he gets back, we're gonna have to do a new segment called Rusty Has to Pee. Where is he peeing? Is there a bathroom?
All the way back there. Wait, where are you from?
I grew up in Maine. Okay. What about you? Are you from Mass? Yeah.
I was thinking about moving to Portland.
My mom lives out here in the winter right now, but dude, Portland is fantastic when it's warm, and it's so fucking miserable when it's sad. It's still, or when it's cold. It's still cool, obviously, but
If you were to pitch to your girlfriend, you kind of
I would say like the quality of life is a little bit better.
These look good.
You can ski on the weekends, but I would say like all in all, I like it here better, but I like going back there in the summer.
Where'd you go?
He was asking if he wanted to pitch his girlfriend to go to Portland, Maine. How would he get it there?
great, dude.
Yeah.
Am I still picking up on the receiver?
take it off.
No, yeah, no, I didn't take it off. I just want to make sure that it didn't fall out of God's graces while I was doing my thing. Sometimes I scream when I piss. What? Yow! It's on, yeah. Yeah, it's on. I'll fucking kill you.
Dude, my grandpa just...
What am I doing? Emmett, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm literally taking him away from being with his betrothed because I'm just yelling at him. I'm like, dude, this is the problem.
Figure it the fuck out, Emmett.
Dude, I just started immediately lashing out at a set last night. It was at like one of those weird co-working spaces. The thing next to me, the whole background, there was like an old jock that had the name like Ramirez Aguilar.
Yep.
And I picked it up and I go, what are you guys doing here? Just wearing this and knocking each other in the nuts, just like, free contact, no payments, and then nobody laughed. And and then I was like, all right.
I can't believe that didn't get a laugh out of him, man.
No, dude, I get so pissed.
Can I indulge you?
Ooh, what are these, Swedish?
These are espresso, yeah, a little bit Swedish.
I'm good right now. I'm gonna save myself for these small sieges. I think these are about done.
I'll get to the point now where I just have one in when I eat. I'm like, this is getting out of hand.
I might be out of.
You have to take one out to brush your teeth, and you're like brushing them faster.
My boys are addicted to nicotine. And I say this in my act, but I'm like, I think Big Tobacco does deserve like some sort of like lifetime achievement award for like.
They've gotten me and my closest friends hopelessly addicted to their product.
Well, they literally did a Jordan, dude. They took a Jordan year, played baseball a little bit.
Yep.
They were like, what are we going to do? Came back with Zins and Juuls and literally reminded the league what the fucking deal was.
I remember being
It's insane. It's like insane.
I remember being pretty convinced. Like, they did a good job in health class being like cigarettes are bad.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, if you smoke a cigarette, you're a fucking pussy. And then they like repackaged it, and I was like, no, but this one's cool.
Yeah, this is fine.
This one's awesome.
Kanye West uses those, and he's got cool glasses that have lines through them.
Dude, when the Juul came out, I think I would be a fundamentally different person if I wasn't a sixth grader when the Juul came out.
You were a sixth grader?
Probably like ninth grade, maybe.
Yeah, probably. We were in high school, I remember when it came out. That was a big problem.
Yeah.
And I was still ripping chewing tobacco. That was a big deal.
That was before my time.
Yeah, chewing tobacco was a big problem, for especially an all-boy Catholic high school.
Yep.
I'd say these are about done.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say these are about done. Let's share the wealth, shall we? I'm gonna leave this. Actually, this one might be more done.
I think they're gonna be money.
There'll be money.
Um.
Okay, go ahead. Hey, Rust.
Oh yeah.
Rust, man, here you go.
Thank you, brother.
This one's for you. It's a little crusty bun, but that's okay. I'm gonna save this one for Emmett. Yeah, we gotta bring it up to the camera for the thumbnail. Here you go, Emmett. Thumbnail.
Scroll down. No, neither face is in it.
What does that remind you of?
Yeah, dude, I remember getting like a box mod vape and just taking it to my room and just practicing every trick that YouTube had to offer. If you posted a YouTube video about how to do a vape trick between 2014 and 2016, I learned it and I could do it real well. I could do it real well.
If we got some fucking good shit out, if we got like some blueberry vortex going, could you show us a thing or two?
Yeah.
It's kind of impressive. Honestly, I didn't really recognize your game like that.
If there was a person walking by and they were within, let me swallow this
Cheers.
first.
We got more too.
If you gave me a strong enough box mod, I could hit that old guy walking right now with an O on his forehead. Moving target, I would lead him. He'd walk right in there, he'd never see it coming.
You still keep skills like that?
It's like riding a bike, you know what I mean?
You don't really forget.
You
Muscle
don't really
memory.
forget. I will say, vapes have gotten stronger. I was in Nashville last weekend, and you know, I probably hadn't vaped in like 6 months. And someone handed me one. It's like a pistol grip, and you like it like burns. Maybe it's just because I've lost a step or two. That thing kicks like a mule deer.
I love taking those vapes from audience members usually. But most of the time, man, like they'll be like, I'm like, what flavor is this? They're like, banana pancake. I'm like, all right, someone definitely made this in their bathtub.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. And then I'm like, what's the setting on it? The setting's on like throat rocket. Like,
Face
all right.
throttle.
Yeah, face throttle, like mind melter.
Dude, it's super melt. Yo, yeah, it's like strains of weed now too. Like I went to Cookies.
Just help me get through the day, bro.
Yeah. I went to Cookies and they're like, yo, try like, this will send you into orbit. Super mellow. And you're like, doesn't sound mellow at all. I had a woman who tried to sell me she successfully sold me a dab card at a dispensary the other day. And she was like, yeah, you know, my husband's a real resin snob and even he likes this one. And I almost walked out of their business and took my business elsewhere.
I legit hate weed, dude.
If you call yourself a resin snob to me, it took everything I had not to like actually throw a temper tantrum.
I fucking hate weed, dude.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like hate it. That's not true. Like I will like do the occasional puff here and there, but it's like I just really don't. It would just give me like panic attacks and shit. And I also think that like, I hate weed culture so much. Like, I just despise this
I
is
agree.
the most conservative thing about me, dude, is like I legit think they should make it illegal again. Make weed
It's
illegal.
made people obnoxious.
Well, it's like, I think just like with sports gambling, all this shit, like we used to have like real rules and morals in this country where it was like, there needs to be barriers to entry to like obnoxious shit like weed, dude.
Agreed.
There should be like, you should have to like sit in a Home Depot parking lot, all right, text your dealer for 3 hours being like, I'm here,
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm here. And then they just go, my bad, bro, got caught up. And then like, that's it. Then you're like, all right, well, I'll try again next month.
I will say, I was anxious about weed when I was a kid, but I think the reason I'm not anymore is because I don't have to like show up to, like I remember my drug dealer in high school had the messiest room in the world. There were 2 guys you could go to. There was one who,
Name names, full names.
not gonna say names.
Come on,
but
we like to
I
give
will
out.
say
We like to give out, you know, business plugs on the pod.
one rhymed. One of their names rhymed with stoner, so that was like that. His marketing was a lot better.
Yeah,
But
good
the other
marketing.
one, and there was one where it was like, okay, so the first guy did a lot of mushrooms and sold a lot of weed, and the other guy sold a lot of hard drugs and did a lot of weed, and so it was like you're buying off one guy's personal stash and you're buying off one guy's, you know, this is for business, not for pleasure. And the first guy, you would walk into his house, and I remember, have you ever seen the show Skins? Like that British.
Yeah, the British show.
Yeah,
I
where,
haven't
like,
seen it, but like, give me like a description of the house a little bit.
You'd walk into his
Super clean.
you'd walk into his house and it was like this really expensive house, and like I remember I walked in one time and his mom and her boyfriend were like having sex on the couch, and I remember it was like I'd never seen that. I don't think I'd had sex yet, so it was just like a jarring house to walk into. You'd go up into his house and you'd have to hear about his conspiracy theories for 45 minutes, and then he'd give you his weed. And then the other guy, you were in and out, but you literally thought you were gonna like die in those 45 minutes. So it was like, or 45 seconds, like which, you know, 6 or 1/2 dozen. You have to pick your poison.
Yeah.
And that's why I was anxious about it, because you had to go through like all these trials and tribulations to get your weed.
But didn't that make it better?
No, I hated it. Now I love weed because I can go, it's like a CVS. I walked in, they're like, yeah, it's like a super mellow blend that's gonna get you, and they like tell you what it is. And then I go home and I can measure, I can cut the gummy in half.
But I just think that keeps me from like getting weed is like the experience. Like, if I'm a guy who's already gonna have a panic attack, I'm not even bothering with either of those. So let me just cut to the chase. Maybe just read a book.
I think you should go to a dispensary out here. It's really fun.
But I lived in Denver.
Oh, so you've done that.
I know.
And you still had panic attacks?
Yeah, I was doing weed out there, dude. I would just be like, ah.
You're taking too much.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring it down to 5. Like, I remember sometimes it'll be like Liam and I went ghost hunting one time. He took 65 milligrams and was like a little scared. And I was like, yeah, you're not having a good time because you took 65 milligrams. Like, dial it back. We're not in the NBA, man. Like, let's play some horse. Let's walk before we run here. Like, I do 5 milligrams, which I've realized is it's the worst amount if you're trying to lose weight,
Yeah.
because you're just high enough to really want to eat something, but you're not high enough to have any like bad thoughts. So just for 5 hours, everything's the greatest thing in the world, and you don't think of the repercussions of like 4 pints of the Tonight Dough. I remember I was sitting in bed the other day eating the Tonight Dough under the covers.
Under the covers.
Like in Prisoner of Azkaban when Harry's like, Lumos Max. Like I was literally like under the covers, like sitting there just around this pint with the flashlight.
Yeah, it's trash.
And I was like, truly convinced it was the greatest thing in the world. It was like, I knew God was real because how good the Tonight Dough tasted.
That's awesome. How much time we at, Emmett? Oh, great. All right, we should probably do our segment. All right, we only have one segment.
Let's do it.
Real man of genius. Here's to you, AM radio preacher. Mr. AM radio preacher! You can tell that you're just winging it the entire time. Go off God's voice. Mr. 8M radio preacher, you're the only person I've ever hear what else when looking at the Bible. What else? What else? Anybody here been baptized? Here's to you, Mr. AM radio preacher. Real man of genius. Do you have any real men of genius you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, let me think on it for a second.
Okay. Dude, yeah, the AM radio preacher. That's why
Is
I was.
that a Bud Light commercial?
Yeah, we're taking it.
I was like,
Yeah, they haven't used it in a while, so it's now going to be our segment.
okay, let's think of a real man of genius.
But I love the fucking radio preacher. Dude, I was literally listening to the other day. The guy just was like, and Moses, he parted that Red Sea, and what, and they all came with him. And they all came
Can
with
I
him.
get a name, man?
Hey, listen. This is like, you could tell this is a white guy because he was like stumbling. He just goes, and it took not 8, but it took, not 8, but it took 10 plagues for the Egyptians to let Moses and his people go. And then we're in the woods for 40 years. They're right next to,
Not 30.
Not, hey, could you imagine all they're eating is myrrh? Do you know what myrrh translates to? Hold on. Myrrh translates to
It's a whale's penis.
bread. Hey, that's one of our Sunday school kids over here. I'm sorry about that.
I actually have a real man of genius.
All right, here we go. Real man of genius.
I can't remember his name, but I saw a video of a guy the other day. Have you ever seen that nature guy who's talking? He goes on these crazy quests. I think he had like a Nat Geo show. And like, he'll tell these crazy stories on like podcasts. He's always on Joe Rogan. Like, if you heard a guy talking about nature, it's this guy.
Mr. Nature Guy goes on Joe Rogan.
And he basically solved the Loch Ness Monster mystery.
I found you underneath that dirty old pond.
It was a whale came into the harbor and like breached. And if you look up, we'll put a picture of it right here.
We will.
Put a picture of it right here.
We put a picture right here.
A whale's penis compared to the Loch Ness Monster it's the exact same shape. It like breaches and they stick their penis out. A horny whale came into the harbor, into the loch, and
Get that one right. Go tip to tip with this hoe. We're going tip to tip with this whale.
went inverted. The sun was hitting at the right angle, and these fucking Scottish people were like, serpent, serpent. And they declared it the Loch
I
Ness
can't
Monster.
believe it.
They declared it the Loch Ness Monster, but in reality it was just a whale's penis.
And that's our Real Man of Genius segment. Real Man of Genius. Bud Light, you can't have this segment back, by the way. This is ours. We've been
Can I
doing
tell
it-
you my favorite thing about Emmett?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Obviously I like a lot of things about you, but he's very like, he like emotes when he has good feedback. So like you'll say something funny, he's like, yes. He's like, yes, more. Give me more.
Yeah, he's a great guy, dude. I love him.
Emmett, what's your middle name?
Michael.
It's a good one. It's a strong
Emmett
one.
Michael Shepherd. I know it's Shepherd. I have your fucking contact. I'm gonna fucking snap your neck tomorrow.
I have your not we're friends who know each other's names. I have your contact. Yeah.
I have your contact.
The only reason I know
where
your
your
name is
family
'cause
lives
it's
in
my
Western
phone.
Massachusetts in Williamstown.
I could drone strike your family right now if I wanted to.
I don't care about anything, man.
You ever be playing COD and they put your full address as your gamer tag?
Brother.
I was talking shit to this guy one time on VO2, just relentless, letting him hear it all day. We were just in the same lobby for like an hour, giving it to him all day. Went to check my KD. My gamer tag was no longer my gamer tag. It was my exact address, my parents' house, and I just turned my Xbox off, went downstairs, and had to pretend like I didn't think that was gonna be like a real issue. I had a guy in Omegle one time send me my
All right, wait, hold on.
yeah.
You're putting a lot of information out there right now.
Yeah.
All right, so is this the same night?
No, we were on
I had to
Omegle.
let some steam off, so I went on Omegle. Held some steam, so I thought I'd go to some people that really knew who I
I
was.
thought I would go, talk to the guys who know what they're talking about. And me and my friend got catfished, and we gave him our phone numbers, and we thought it was a girl. Thought it was a girl our age. And he texted us a selfie of himself and then our address. And I went down and told my dad. And trying to explain to your dad who like doesn't fully understand the internet like what happened was like pretty tough stuff. Like I slept in his bedroom that night because I was truly convinced this guy was gonna come to my house.
Man, yeah, you are a true child. I didn't have any of that shit. I had a computer room, dog. I was a real man of genius behind that computer room. I was on boobs.gov.
Yeah.
Trying to look shit up. Trying to get down to the bottom of this nipple.
Yeah. Figure out what it's all about.
Figure out what it's all about. Well, wait, what time are we at?
Hour.
Yeah, we should probably cut it about here.
Let's give it.
Let's give it. I mean, the sun is setting on this beautiful day in Mar Vista. I'm coming. Can we come to the wig party?
Please. I'll text
Can
you
I
the
bring?
address.
Can I bring 50 guys?
You can bring 3 guys.
All right, that's fair.
Pick your top 3.
You know the guys too. They're good guys.
Oh, nice.
It's like they're all like, you know my buddy Killian by any chance, the Irish dude.
Probably.
Yeah, you probably met him at the Brig once or twice.
Okay, lovely. Yeah,
Really good guy.
it's at Lauren's house, my producer. So I'll send you the address.
Oh, wonderful, dude. Yeah,
Just got a
around.
new house.
We'll put the address here in the
We'll put
bio.
the address right here.
The address right here if you guys want to check her
Please
out.
do not put the address right there.
Oh, we
might have put
we
the
might
address.
put the address right here. All right, we'll put a picture of Lauren for sure.
Put a picture of Lauren right here.
And then, but yeah, anything you would like to say to the people before we leave?
Yeah, I think that, most people take this time to plug their own stuff. I would say don't go and watch my stuff, but go on the random section of Wikipedia and just click randomize. I don't know if that's a real thing that happens, but
No, but this is wonderful.
Go
I mean,
check it out.
Nary have we had a guest that encourages our viewers to educate themselves.
right.
And I've gone on and on about Nicaragua, and I'll keep going on and on about Nicaragua. But at the end of the day, I really just hope these people decide take their education in their own hands.
Right.
I can only read a book like once every 3 weeks. Okay, I'm finishing.
That's a pretty good clip.
Yeah, dude, listen, life is all about having a good book that you're reading, all right? That keeps your brain from fucking, like, locking into social media and becoming an absolute warped vessel of loserdom. All right, anyway, please come see me in Nashville, Tennessee, guys. I'll be at Zany's once again. Last year, we almost sold out the big room. Let's try and actually sell it out this time. That would be pretty cool. Raleigh, I'll be there for the entire weekend as well, same week. So March 12th, I'll be in Nashville, March 14th, 15th, Raleigh. Knoxville, I might actually go that week too, depending on if I'm feeling it or not. Austin just announced Cap City, May 10th. They gave me a fucking shit deal, but I'm gonna go anyway. No, wait, I'm gonna cut that. I might leave it in, who cares?
You gave me a shit deal, man.
Yeah, but it's all right. I'll be there for the weekend. Providence, Vet Theater, Riot Comedy Club in Houston. Shut up. But yeah, guys, this has been wonderful. And to everybody that watches this show, it really does mean the world that you've been sticking along. We have some big changes coming. Hopefully we'll keep on trucking along. But the fact that we have good friends like Rust here, we got people that care. It means the world to me and Emmett. And I don't care if it means the world.
It means the world to me as well.
It means the world to Rusty, dude. Because at the end of the day, this show is about encouraging you to reach out to a buddy, grill out, and enjoy life, man.
That's what it's all about.
All right, there's more than sitting in your car or listening to a podcast while you fucking eat a burrito you got from the Ralph's. Come on.
Just like shitting on them.
I'm not shitting on them. This is the David Goggins podcast. This is the David Goggins show. Look at this. Fuck.
Wait, I'm getting a call. Should we answer it live?
Yes, get a call. Answer it live. Hold on, ready?
Talk to me, gangsta.
What are you getting into tonight?
I got a wig party if you want to join.
A what?
Lauren's having a wig party if you want to join.
What's a wig party?
You wear a wig.
A wig.
Yes.
Wait, that's kind of fun. Are you gonna go out after, do you think?
Yeah, probably. I'm down.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of a prerequisite for a wig party.